Hi dear judge and hi dear debaters. Our motion is this house believes that kids with disabilities should study with others. So by kids we mean a son or daughter, a young person, a young goat. By disabilities we mean a condition such as an illness or an injury that damages or limits a person's physical or mental abilities. The condition of being unable to do things in the normal way. So by study we mean the activity or process of learning about something by reading, memorizing facts, attending school. By other we mean in addition to the person or things that has already been mentioned. By other we mean the pupil. We mean the pupil that disability pupils study with them and if disability persons study separately, they can damage the society. How for example society must, if they study separately, society must provide them with separately school and with all of the things that they study separately. And for this society need the money. That is why they must study with other people and don't damage the society and no thanks so all the people have their right that study at every school that they want and it's human right that how they want they can study or other thing so if society separates them, if they separate from society, they at future they can't work and society can't provide them. How, for example, if they separate from society, they can't in future they can't work for themselves and they can't provide themselves and it can damage for country, for no thanks, for country, for budget country and other. That is why they need study with other people and they will work for themselves and they will can provide themselves. That's why it's important and And if they study separately, they think themselves past. They think themselves down from others, and if they study separately, it can break human rights, and also it's incorrect. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for your attention.
Okay guys, hi everybody. Today we are gonna play debate round, and our motion is this house believes that kids with disabilities should study with others. And as we listen to the affirmative first speech, she framed that by disability we mean physical and mental illness. And also his argument was they will work. His argument was they will work and earn money, but how the physical and mental illness and the physical and mental people will work and earn for themselves money. This is out of my argument, and I think that this argument is not working here. And another important thing that there is two kinds in this round. We are talking about two kinds of people. The first kind of people is disabled students, and the second kind of people is a person who is normal. And we are not going to underestimate them. We are not going to discriminate them. If we want to avoid this issue, we will separate them. And the person who has disabilities, they will study separately, and the person who has normal, they will study together. And what will happen when they are going to study together? Discrimination will be in hiring. The person who is normal will discriminate the disabled person, and it is very bad. What will happen when disabled person will discriminate? He or she will be depressed, and sometimes it is psychological proof that sometimes the discriminated person will kill himself, or he will kill himself, and sometimes he will give some positive, negative action to their family. And another thing that it is hard to study. My next argument is that it's hard to study when we are when the disabled students and normal students, when they will study together, and when they will study together, the teachers will explain. The disabled person will not care about the theme, will not care about the emotion. That is why it takes a little bit more time in order to clarify for disabilities and normal students. That is why that it's hard to study. And what will happen when they are not going to? What will happen when they are not going to study hard? They will be no educated person. They will be educated, but they will not be specialists. They will not be working in some organization that is located in foreign, and they will not be specialists. And the community will not be go forward, and the community will not be go forward. And the second thing that as I listened to the first speaker, she talked about about the value of person. But in this debate, I want to say that the human right is not so important than the health, than the health, and it's not important than the health. And when the disabilities students will study with normal people, when the normal will discriminate him, sometimes disability students will beat the normal students, and there is no the police don't have any right in order to catch the disabled person and jail him. And for example, in Tajikistan, in contemporary situation in Tajikistan, the disabled students, the disabled person is not punished or is not jailed, and they will be discriminated, and sometimes they will beat each other, and it is so bad for them. And the next thing about the disabled person, I want to say that This is law. A person 3 over 21 year 3 till 21 years students who has disability should not study, have not studied with others. This is law that taken in from idea. Thank you very much. If there are any kind of comment, I'm ready to answer.
Okay, hi everyone, accepting my greetings. Accepting my greetings, dear judges, dear debaters, dear guests. I would like to say that our motion is that the kids, this house believes that the kids should study with disabilities, should study with others. Going and following to my partner, I would like to say that by disabilities we mean that we are going to limit with a disability person. Now, not every disability person can study with others. We are just going to limit with them. Not the person who is there with как-то car should study with others. We are not going to allow that person. We are just going to limit with them. By disabilities, we mean that the person with the third step of the disability. By disabilities, not everyone should study. As I mentioned, study with them. Like disability can be as you said, it's physical and mental. And the person who is not can see, he's a blind will not study with others. We are just going for them to build with them others like things, or just for them make it another things that if we not allowed, what should happen with with others? What happens with disabilities person? They will be not motivated. They will be not lived. They will be not have a chance. They will be not have a dream, talking with others, spending their time, or just studying with them. And also, government side decided that for the disability person should give a chance to mix with society. My argumentation is that the disability person should have a chance to mix with the society. We are not going to away from the other countries. We're just examples. Our Tajikistan, as you know, our Tajikistan is the government side. It's pay attention in the more pay attention to the these steps of the government. As we know, the disabilities person now is as one of the power of society, one of the power of society. They are working, they are living, they are studying, they are they all have a rights as the same as we all have. And now, as we know that in Tajikistan, that's disabilities person is studying, living, and they are working with us. No any level, no any things that they are separate with others. We have for them, no thank you. We have if we are not accepting this law, what happened? The budget of the government will be increasing. Decreasing, yeah. Sorry, the budget of the government will be decreasing. The government side should be built for them another school, should be built for them another space for working. They will be okay.
You think that government have to make special school for them? Don't you think that now they are studying in this special school?
Could you repeat your?
These people disabled are studying in the special school. They already have.
I would like to say in your question, I will answer to your question like this. The disability person has a lot of the steps. They are they are not hearing. They are not hearing or seeing. They will be not how can I say thinking. We have a lot of the steps, as we know. But by disabilities, we mean that the third of the steps the government side should be allow the person, the kids with study with others. like now we have like some workers for the disabilities. They are they are staying at home or just they are working. They are, most of them it will be handcrafts. Like as you know, Tajikistan growing by the handcrafts. As you know, the most of the power of the budget of the country is the handcrafts and tourism. They are sitting at home and they are they are making their handcrafts, and now the okay, thank you for attention.
So hello dear debaters and dear judges. So our motion says that disabilities children should study separately from others. So as we heard the Deputy or Prime Minister mentioned before, they think that we are separating the children with disabilities from society. We are not separating them from society. We are not separating them from normal people. We are just giving them a normal education, a special education which they need because they are disabled students. Even though they are not deaf, they are not blind, they are disabilities. They can't get education like we do because we are normal people, they are disabilities. So students with disabilities will not learn, will not study as well in public schools for a few reasons. The first reason is that not all teachers in schools are trained to teach the students with disabilities. We have special teachers who are taking care of students with disabilities. So children with disabilities also take more of the teacher's time. Why? Because it's hard to take the information clearly from the teachers. It's hard to understand what they need. So the teachers who understand them clearly is those who are taking care of this kind of children because they are trained to teach this kind of students, this kind of pupils. So it will take more teachers' time, more teachers of those who are normal, and also they can study anything. So it's hard for those who are normal because children with disabilities can distract both the teacher and their classmates. Why? Because if they can understand during a lesson, if they can get any information, if they can get the information clearly, it's hard for their classmates because they are distracting them, to get information. And for repeating all of this, so the teacher can't understand because they are not trained to understand what they need. It's hard for the teacher to understand, to get what they are needed. So as my partner said, they should be taught separately because they will be if they study with normal children, they will be mostly discriminated by others. Why? If there is any quarrel between classmates, so we have also quarrel between each other. If there is any quarrel, any dispute between them, they will start to discriminate them because they are kind of disabilities. They have some kind of disabilities. It's hard for them to mix it all, to accept this because they are disabilities. As my partner said you before, they can even murder themselves, and it's bad for the society. So what do you think? You say that we can waste money in order to build special schools. Money is important of the life of the people, or the life of students. So we should think of the future of our society. Because if we don't care of them, they will. If we build special schools for these children, they can be study independent because they will see each other. They will work with each other. We are not separating them from the society. We will just give them special schools in order to get information, in order to study independent with the same people, with the similar people as themselves. So So they will be. Why we are separating them? They will be better. Would be better study separately because children and they will be study better than to study in that kind of conditions like in the private schools. So. So in a school mean for children. I mean in a private school or in special schools. What? In special schools, children with disabilities, teachers would be trained knowing what the children needed. In the same time, they are ready when there is some problem with these children. They can even students. Teachers would be trained knowing just what their students need. Students would also find more teachers ready to give help whenever they are needed. So it means that when they are تمام یا برام خیلی نمیکنی یا گون خیلی نمیکنی بود چی میگم آخه یا گون میزدی باید
Tak. Okay. Hi, dear teachers, dear debaters. Today we are debating in a very sensitive motion. This I believe that disabled people should study with others. It means with other normal peoples. And we heard from the negative side that they had two main arguments. The first argument of theirs was that it will be difficult for them to teach because we have no special teachers for it. And the second is that they will be discriminated from their classmates and so on. I would start from rebuttaling from the first argument. It means that it will be more difficult for them to teach. Of course, we do agree that it will be difficult for them to teach, but let's look. They are our children, they are our sons, they are our daughters, and it means that they have right for this. We have to go extra mile in order to make them comfortable and teach them because they can be separated. The main thing that we are going to escape is so-called special schools, special times, special kids, and so on. This special made them afraid of the society. They not feel themselves as a part of society because we call them special, and this special is a very dangerous name that we put them. Besides that, they are not agree with that. The next thing is that they are going to be discriminated from their classmates. It will be rebutted this way that, of course, it may happen that they somehow they will discriminated, but the main thing is that they discriminated because the society don't see them. The society don't know them. If we put them in a society, if we put them in a schools that everyone is teaching there, and they will see them and they contact with them, they will be friends with them, the discrimination will never happen. They discriminate them because they called specials, and they call them specials, they are disabled, and so on. Okay, moving to my arguments. Today we will speak about two main arguments. The main thing is that it's our civil, responsibility, as a civil responsibility. And the next thing is that respect. About civil responsibility, we will say that we are responsible to take care of other part of society because they are also a part of society, and we have to take care of them. We don't have to put them in a special schools, as you say, and separate them from society. Gave them special buses, special cars. In all these special things that we are doing for them, and we are thinking that it helps them. In vice versa, it destroys them because it separates them from a society. Everyone wants to be a part of society, and we don't want them to be a part of society because we have to join everyone in one group, and we have to build one common society for ourselves. The next thing is that respect. Respect, by respect, we meaning that we have respect their difficulties. We have respect their abilities that they are difficult for them. We have respect for the teachers that are teaching them. We have respect for all difficulties that they will face during the learning in the schools and with other kids. And also, we have respect them as a human being, because they are also human being. For example, my son or my brother or my classmate, if they have some disabilities, it doesn't mean that they have to be put out of society. Putting out of society is like it's a prison for them. For example, if someone makes crime, we have special places for them to take them out of society. And it means that if we build special schools, special communities for them, it means that we will make them special and out of society and will take them out of society. And it's totally wrong. The next thing is that we want to mention that we have a great point that Bani Odama Zoya Tigaran, and they're also our part, and we can't separate them by sending them to other kids. There was mentioned about the budget, and there is no budget here. Is the main sensitivity of human beings and the disabled kids, because if we put them in a society, in a special kids, they may be question.
Point of information.
Okay.
So as I mentioned before, we are not separating them from the society. We are just giving a special school.
Thank you very much. We are avoiding this special. We all avoiding these special schools and special seats, because this special made them disappointed and make them took them out of the society. The main thing that we have to fight with is this some kind of special things. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, except my Greek India debaters, I would like to start my speech with rebuttaling to the affirmative side. As the affirmative side mentions, they are told us that they have also right, and they are our sons, our daughters, and another thing. By this way, we cannot put them in special places. I would like to say that you are not like putting in special places. I want to say that you are not wanting to be your son or your daughter to be educated person. If you want to be, your son will be, your daughter will be educated, you should to collect them in a special, you put them in a special place, special schools for the diseased people. No, and by this way, if we want to like decrease, increase, improve our develop our countries, by this way we can like to put them in special places. And as this side mentioned, they are feeling themselves when we are when we put them in special places, they are feeling themselves bad, and because they are in they are putting they are special, we are putting in special places. But I would like to say that we are not making them special. We are also like collect all like disabilities, and by this way we make one group society that is like belong for them. And another thing that you mentioned about the discrimination, about respectness and about like value of them, if we will told them, they will understand, because they will not like discriminate them. But as we know, nowadays discrimination happen everywhere. Like black people, white people make discrimination for like black people, saying that you are black, you are like a nigger, and so on. And I would like to say about saying the respect to others, human, putting them in the society. About your respectness, yeah, we are respect them, but we are not making, we are not allowing them to study with others, because they have. We are by this way, if we can to decrease our country, because they if in one class we have one person with disabilities, teachers come to them and say you should do this, that, and by this way it is wasting the time. Teachers make the wasting the time, and another person, normal people cannot give like like equal education, a special education for them. And by this way, we are not like we are not making a special. We are collecting them in one great group. And the first reason that why we are disagree with this motion is that disbalance between the genders. Why this is a disbalance? Because the normal are active and the like disabilities are passive. And the normal if the normal are active and the disabilities are passive. By this way, we will like put the education of the active people. We will like disbalance them. The active person, active like kids, cannot get a good education with the like disability person. And another thing that will happen, it will be mentality between the it will the next thing that will happen, it will be mentality between the kids. A mentality brings the negative impact for the disability person. Disability person when seeing that one group of playing, they cannot when they are seeing that one part of their classmates are going to the football, they are not like bringing with them, and they are like they are not they will be mentality healthy for them, and they are not improving. And if you will like collect them in special groups, and they will like gather there, and they will be do everything with their like person who are disabilities. And another thing, I would like to bring an example here. Nikucic, as we know, Nikucic, he's one of the disabled people who are without hands and feet, and he was graduated the special school, and now he's a speaker in America, and he's also the popular speaker in America, and he's also educated man in there. And and if we will like, if we will allow them to do this, if we allow them to study in a school, they need an extra care. Teachers should care about them extra, and it will be like it will be the extra care for them. And the main thing that I would like to say is that they will be excluded from society. Because society, when like normal people are going one place, they are not bringing with them, caring them for that place, and it will be like the inequality between them because they are not like knowing about them. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, hello dear judge and dear debaters. Okay, I'm the affirmative second. Okay, the main goal of this resolution is to mix them with other peoples and other countries. When mix them, the disabilities people, they see the countries and some places, and their eyes is open. Okay, when the problem is not finding some teachers or someone people for teaching them. When we teaching the disabilities people, they don't disturb the normal people, the disabled. When we more explain the disabilities people, they understand how to work and how to prepare prepare his work and how to do something else. The disabilities problem is not he's crazy or something else. He's when we explain him and something doing, we think he is understanding something, and he can work in other people's. He don't have any problem for in his hand or head. Okay, there is when the disabilities people think about when they are not good and not okay, when they are thinking about himself and do not think about yes. Okay, disabilities can work with other normal people and normal people. How my partner says about this and other thing. When we spending our more time in disabilities, they understanding something and do what do you want to work and when we spend more our time in disabilities, in some time they are understanding how to spend the time. Okay, I'm done.
So, hi everyone, I am an analyzer from negative side and I would like to start with analysis. So we are disappointed that our first speaker, our Prime Minister, did not get an sufficient or satisfying definition to us. So all our tables, we're talking about the society. Just affirmative side is saying that we are separating them from society, we are making them from society, all this society, society, society. But what is society? What do you mean by this? It was not mentioned by any of the speakers. So I'm going to make just an example. For example, society is now we are. We are sitting here. We are more than 2 people and we are society. What do you mean by society? So disabled people have their own society and they are satisfied with them and they are agree with them. So we have not to mix them. We have not to give them a pressure to study with normal people, to be like discriminated or to be harassed or to be just under the pressure. So it will give them make them under the pressure feel. So what was the point of the first affirmative is just we are going to make special schools for them and we have to allow them to study there. But we do know that now we have already these special schools and they are studying and they are satisfied and they have not any issues. None of them didn't just complain about it that we want to study with others. None of them didn't mention this point. Why do we need to make such an misunderstanding? Here is no reason. And their main point was about the special schools and about the right of people. So we know that right of people are not in a high level. So there is also lots of things that breaks our rights, but we are just keeping calm. So it is not a problem of being just mixing disabled people with normal people because it will make them feel under the pressure. And about the negative first, their point was about the discrimination and they cannot get enough education. Yeah, it is right. They cannot get enough education because they are studying with normal people. And it is true, Ray. We are agree with it. But we will talk about this later. About the second affirmative. Second affirmative, they are just saying that we have to erase all these special things, special schools, special people, but we know that they are special. Even if we call them normal people, we, in our mindset, we just kept this, that they are special, they are disabled. We cannot erase it because it is something which is unavoidable. So we see them, it is unavoidable. They are born disabled. We cannot just change it. It is their lack and we respect them. Everybody knows that disabled people are respected from the society, but also they were talking about we're gonna put them in a society. What do you mean by society? They already have their own society, as I mentioned before, and as my partner said, for example, Nick Vujicic, he is disabled. He does not have neither hand nor feet, but he is very famous person in the world. So it cannot be an argument that they are studying in a special way and they cannot be some famous or some educated person. Otherwise, it will make him feel equal among these people and they will study hard, they will continue to achieve their goals. And the second thing is that when my partner mentioned, so when we are mixing them with normal people are undoubtedly they are more active. So these people are passive. When they are seeing active people making progress, taking some extra mile, achieving something, they feel themselves disappointed, they feel themselves disabled. So when they are studying with these special people like them, they will not feel it because they are equal, they are in one line, and it is make them feel normal. So being in part of the society cannot be an argument because no one give enough definition of this how society called. So why our team is winner of this game? Because we just prove that it cannot be it cannot be done, and it makes these people feel under pressure. It will make them more disappointed. It will make them more be feel down, feel low. They just normal people will look down on them. Anyway, we see that in normal people are even discriminated, are looking down. And when we are mixing these disabled people, it will just increase, and people will just discriminate them. People will just put them under the pressure. So this is all. Thank you for your attention. According to all the criteria that we proposed to this game, we can say that we have not to make disabled people study with others. Thank you.